Hold up.
Every day I wake up, wake your ass up.
The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
But let's get in some front page news. I sent you with the sleep earlier last night. Your Cowboys actually won. They beat the Raiders last night, 33-16. I don't know what that means. It means absolutely, positively nothing. Both the teams are sucky, but you guys did win.
Well, we're 4-5-1 on the season. It's interesting though. Whether the Cowboys win or lose, when I wake up, somebody will be texting me, "How about them Cowboys?" So it's either somebody being sarcastic or somebody, like, "Yes, we won."
Wait, you guys?
I never know until I go look.
You guys won last night. What's up, Mimi?
Good morning, MB. Good morning, Charlamagne. How y'all doing this morning?
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, so we start this morning in Washington, where the House is set to vote today on whether to force the Justice Department to release every unclassified record tied to Jeffrey Epstein. And for the first time, it looks like the measure has the votes to pass with overwhelming bipartisan support. Now, this push has been building for months. A bipartisan group led by Republican Thomas Massie and Democrat Roques, they gathered the 218 signatures needed to bring the bill straight to the floor. Even after GOP leadership, they tried to slow it down. But the biggest shift came over the weekend when the president reversed his stance and publicly said that he supports releasing the files. And that move may have cleared the way for more Republicans to join. Some lawmakers now believe the bill could see more than 100 GOP votes. Now, if that happens, it puts real pressure on the Republican-controlled Senate to take it up next. Now, Trump was asked whether he would sign the bill if it passes both chambers. Let's listen to that exchange.
Would you sign that bill if it gets to your desk?
I do want to. Here's what I want. We have nothing to do with Epstein. The Democrats do. All of his friends were Democrats. What I just don't want Epstein to do is detract from the great success of the Republican Party.
You would sign it if
give
it comes
them
to your desk?
everything. Sure, I would. Let the Senate look at it. Let anybody look at it. But don't talk about it too much, because honestly, I don't want to take it away from us. It's really a Democrat problem. The Democrats were Epstein's friends, all of them. And it's a hoax. The whole thing is a hoax.
Which is it, though? Does it exist? Is it a hoax? Like, is it all Democrats? Is it just a hoax? All I know is that whenever it comes out, it's going to be mutually assured destruction for both parties.
I don't think it's going to come out. I don't think it's going to come out. Even if they pass, I think he's going to find a way to make sure that thing doesn't come out.
I don't know. Maybe.
It has to go to the Senate next, and then he has to sign it into law. So we'll have to see if he's going to actually sign that. But Trump, he has denied any connection to Epstein's crimes and says that the two had a falling out years ago. And the bill itself, so it would require the Attorney General to release all unclassified Epstein-related documents. We're talking emails, flight records, investigative notes, internal communications in a searchable public format. Of course, victims, their identities would still be protected. So we'll see. The Senate now has to take up the bill if it passes in the House. And then, of course, like we just said, it will move to the president's desk for his signature. So we will watch that and see what happens. And President Trump, he is once again talking about sending out those $2,000 dividend checks to most Americans paid with money from what the U.S. collects from tariffs. But yesterday, Trump, he went a step further and put a timeline on it. He now says those checks would go out to individuals of moderate income before the 2026 midterms. Let's listen to what he told reporters in the Oval Office.
We're going to be issuing dividends later on, somewhere prior to, probably in the middle of next year, a little bit later than that, of thousands of dollars for individuals of moderate income, middle income. We're going to pay down debt. We have a lot of money from tariffs. If we didn't have tariffs, this nation would be in serious trouble.
Well, none of that can happen unless Congress approves it. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said over the weekend on Fox News that the White House can't send those checks on its own. Congress would have to pass a new law. Let's listen to that exchange.
Secretary, is he going to be sending these direct payments to Americans of $2,000 or more?
We will see. We need legislation for that. And again, President Trump is all about solutions, Maria, and
yes.
Everything is on the table.
Well, the administration, though, they first floated this idea. When they first floated this idea, Bessent, he originally said that it would be a rebate, and it would show up as a tax cut, not a paper check. Now, only recently, after the talk about affordability, tariff backlash, the White House has shifted to those direct payments. Now, this all comes, though, as the Supreme Court is reviewing part of Trump's tariff program right now. If the justices, if they strike down those tariffs, the revenue that the Trump administration is counting on for those checks could disappear. And economists across the board, they say even if Congress does approve it, dumping $2,000 checks in the economy could push inflation right back up, especially with consumer prices rising faster than expected.
You'd be shocked how many people voted for Donald Trump because they thought they was getting another stimulus check. So they would be extremely happy if some new stimmies hit the ecosystem.
Absolutely. So that is what they were saying. So we will continue to watch that because I think the messaging on that changes just depending on, what's the tariffs, the Supreme Court. So that's a story we will continue to follow. But coming up at 7, car shopping may just be getting a major upgrade. We'll explain how one click is about to change everything.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get back in some front page news. Now, Charlotte, you ain't watched the game last night, right?
No, man. I went to bed at 9:15. I watched the first 2 minutes.
You ain't missed nothing. Your Cowboys won, but both of the teams suck. So I don't know if you take that win or not. They won 33-16. What's up, Mimi?
Good morning, NV. Charlamagne, how y'all doing this morning?
Blessed, black, and highly favored. What's up, Mimi?
Good morning. So we start this hour in Charlotte where tensions are running high after a weekend of aggressive immigration enforcement. Now, over the weekend, Border Control and ICE agents, they launched Operation Charlotte's Web, sweeping into Charlotte with dozens of federal agents. In just 48 hours, more than 130 people were detained, 81 of them in the first 5 hours. Now, videos circulating online show masked federal agents stopping cars, pulling people out of vehicles, and making arrests in parking lots, shopping centers, and outside of churches. DHS says everyone detained violated immigration law and that some have criminal records, including prior deportations, weapons charges, assaults, and DUIs. But the operation has also swept up legal residents and U.S. citizens who said they were stopped and questioned, adding to racial thoughts of racial profiling. Now, several businesses, they have closed their doors. Families are staying home from work, school, even church. Meanwhile, protesters, they rallied downtown demanding Border Patrol leave the city. Local leaders say this operation is creating unnecessary fear and uncertainty. Charlotte's mayor and county officials, they released a joint statement saying that residents should feel safe walking down the street, going to school or the grocery store. And North Carolina Governor Josh Stein, he posted a message on social media urging people to record any inappropriate behavior by federal agents and report it to local law enforcement. Here's more of what the governor had to say. Let's take a listen.
We've seen masked, heavily armed agents in paramilitary garb driving unmarked cars, targeting American citizens based on their skin color, racially profiling and picking up random people in parking lots and off of our sidewalks, going after landscapers simply decorating a Christmas tree in someone's front yard, and entering churches and stores to grab people. This is not making us safer. It's stoking fear and dividing our community.
I tell you one thing, the name of the operation Charlotte's Web is just diabolical. I mean, Charlotte's Web is such a pure story. I mean, Wilbur would not approve. Okay.
It's funny you say that because I think it's the granddaughter came out and said that her family does not like them calling it Charlotte's Web, the Operation Charlotte's Web, and they're asking them to stop. But their family does not stand for what they're doing to the people on the ground. So it's funny that just came out yesterday.
The granddaughter of E.B. White.
Yes.
E.B.
Yes.
That's who wrote it.
Yes, came out. Yep.
Well, I'm glad she did because that's diabolical,
Yeah,
man. Charlotte's Web is such a heartwarming story. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Wilbur wouldn't be okay with that. Nor would Charlotte.
Absolutely. Well, now this morning, ICE agents, they are headed to Raleigh. Local outlets there are reporting that federal immigration agents, that they arrived yesterday and plan to begin full operations today, launching a new phase of the crackdown. Now, Raleigh's mayor said the city was not notified. Federal officials, though, they say that they plan to stay in Raleigh. They plan to stay in Charlotte and surrounding areas through Friday throughout the week. And then they are heading to New Orleans next. So we will keep up with that. Mm-hmm. And as we turn to consumer news, where buying a car may soon feel as simple as ordering anything else online. So Ford is teaming up with Amazon, and now you can shop for a certified used Ford the same way that you would shop for everything else on the site. So the automaker just launched a new partnership that lets local dealerships list their certified pre-owned Fords directly on Amazon Autos. Now, shoppers can browse what's available in their area, compare prices, they can line up financing and knock out the paperwork right on Amazon. The only thing you can't do is have a car dropped off like a prime package. You still have to go and pick it up at the dealership, but everything else leading up to that can happen online. The program, it launches first in Los Angeles, Seattle, and Dallas, with more cities coming soon. Now, Ford says the interest is already very strong, about 180 dealers they want in. Only 20 so far have signed up. But every car comes with Ford manufactured backed warranty, the same benefits that you would get going directly to the lot. What do you guys think about that, being able to just shop for a car like you would on Amazon for anything else?
Well, Tesla does that already, where you can order it right online. The only problem with that is it makes it easy because you don't got to deal with salespeople. You ain't got to deal with them bugging you and harassing you, and you can just get the car you want. The problem is you can't make a deal, right? There's nobody to talk to. Like, you can't say, hey, give me $1,000 off. Hey, can I get it for $5,000 less? Hey, can you throw in a tire package? You can't. There's no salesperson to make the deal with. But it's no hassle. You ain't got to worry about somebody bothering you, on your neck while you're shopping. But Tesla does it already.
And ain't nobody got no money. How they gonna be ordering cars? Like, I wish I would be able to just go on Amazon and order a car, and like NB said, not even have to worry about making a deal with nobody. Just here, take
you go
this.
in there begging, can I please?
You go in there, I need this off. I need this percentage off, and sometimes it's better talking to salespeople because they can help you out if you do need a little help, or if you don't get approved, they can always call the bank and be like, hey, this guy missed his last payment because of this, or he had that. But like I said, Tesla does it already.
Yeah, there's some pros and cons definitely to this, MB. So we'll continue to see what shakes with that. I know they said Honda is already on Amazon as well, so that's another dealership that they're working with on Amazon. And speaking of big moves, Mackenzie Scott, she is back at it. Over the weekend, she dropped another round of major gifts on HBCUs.
I love it.
I love it too.
Yes, right, y'all. So Prairie View A&M in Texas, they got $63 million. Bowie State in Maryland, they received $50 million. And for Lander Smith University in Arkansas, they got $19 million, all unrestricted, meaning the schools can use the money however they think will help the students. The weekend gifts alone, they top $132 million, and they push her total giving this fall to more than $700 million, some of the largest donations that any of these schools have ever seen.
Man,
she make her way to Delaware?
I want her to be at South Carolina State too, but I just, listen, man, say what you want about capitalism. I like that type of compassionate capitalism. I think
that's dope.
I pray to be able to do things like that one day.
I can't wait to be able to give away $700 million. That's dope.
Yeah. She said that her giving is rooted in her own college experience. So she wrote an essay last month, and she wrote about being a struggling student, and she was facing tuition that she couldn't afford. She needed dental work. She said that a local dentist, they stepped in and they paid for it. And then when she couldn't make ends meet, her college roommate loaned her $1,000 so she wouldn't have to drop out. Oh, wow. And so she said that those small acts of kindness, that they saved her life. And so she just wants to pass it forward to others.
Yeah, she's leaving out that part of the story where her friend took her to an HBCU and she got turned out that week.
That's right. Homecoming. I'm thinking it was homecoming. She probably met a Kappa. He's strolling.
That's what happened.
Definitely wasn't Delaware State though, but yeah, I'm glad she's giving away. But that's
going to
amazing.
Hampton.
She ain't go to Hampton either because she ain't give no money to Hampton either.
Okay. She was at
She probably went to Howard.
She was definitely at Howard. That's the mainstream middle point. Like, you can take anybody there. They get a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
She would be. Somebody should have a, conversation with her. I don't know if she does interviews and stuff like that, but I would like to hear somebody just ask her, what is the motivation for HBCU specifically?
Right.
It has something to do with Toni Morrison because she trained underneath her at Princeton. And I believe that because, Toni went to Howard, that somehow they probably had conversations. And I've heard before that, her love from HBCUs came from what she learned from her.
Wow.
So somewhere in there, yeah.
That's amazing.
We love to see it. We love to see it. And she has pledged to give away her entire fortune, basically. She's worth $34 billion. She's already given away $19 billion. So...
Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to do with that money.
And for those who don't know, that is Jeff Bezos' ex-wife. When they divorced, she became, one of the richest women in the world. So there you have it. All right, y'all. Well, that is your front page news. I'm Mimi Brown. Follow me at Mimi Brown TV for more stories. Follow the Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app or visit binnews.com.
All right. Thank you, Mimi.
Thank
Peace,
you.
Mimi.
Hold up. Every day I wake up, wake your ass up.
The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?